What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Murat Gassiev defeats Yunier Dorticos by a 12th round TKO to unify the IBF and WBA cruiserweight titles, and he progresses to the final of the World Boxing Super Series, where he will fight Alexander Usyk in arguably one of the best matchups of the year. I was pretty confident going into this fight that firstly, it would be a good fight because stylistically both guys are hard punchers. Both guys have scored exciting knockouts. To me, both guys are best when they are fighting on the aggressive side. So I always felt this was going to be a good fight, but I was pretty confident in my prediction that at some point Gassiev is going to catch up with Dorticos. To me, and I felt a lot of people kind of in the build-up to this fight, a lot of people kind of assumed that Dorticos was the better boxer. Maybe because he had a sort of a more extensive amateur background, maybe because he has that Cuban reputation, I'm not sure. But I always felt that Gassiev was the better boxer. To me, Gassiev had or has the far better punch technique. He delivers his shots in a much more technically correct manner. He has superior timing. His guard is very strong and very good. I even said defensively Gassiev is better. You know, he's just a better fundamental boxer than Dorticos. I said that Dorticos was more of an impulsive fighter. He can box, but his MO is to come forward and try and blow you out of there. That's his game, that's his style. And I feel that if you're going to play that game with Gassiev, chances are you're going to get beat. Because Gassiev, as we've seen, has firstly underrated defense, and when he does get hit, he's got a very good chin, and he's proved he can fight at 12 rounds against world level cruiserweights. You know, you just have to see the Lebedev fight. So I'm not surprised by this result at all, and I'm not surprised by how the fight played out. You know, Gassiev actually started on a back foot. I was a little bit surprised about that, I have to say. You know, but Gassiev showed another dimension to his game, another wrinkle to his game. He boxed on the back foot, popping that jab. You know, he'd go down to the body here and there. You know, just looking for those big shots and making Dorticos commit, making him come forward. And you know, I felt Gassiev was judging the distance quite well. Gassiev was also doing very well at catching a lot of Dorticos' shots on the gloves. You know, his defense isn't flashy. It's not, you know, super slick as some people would say, but it's very effective. His guard is excellent, and he was catching pretty much all of Dorticos' offense on the guard. And he was jabbing well, and he was picking his spots well. He was outboxing Dorticos for the first few rounds, as far as I'm concerned. It was around the mid-rounds where Gassiev started to hold his ground a little bit more, started to push his foot on the pedal just that little bit, and started to break Dorticos down. And after the mid-rounds, to me, although Dorticos is always live because he hits hard and he's a good fighter, he's always going to be live, but I always felt that Gassiev was in control here. He was always the guy who, you know, he never really looked uncomfortable, where you saw that Dorticos was at a stage where he was chasing the fight, he was getting a bit reckless, you know, he knew he needed something big and it wasn't coming. And as the fight wore on, he got more and more desperate. His gas tank was emptying, and Gassiev was slowly breaking him down. You could see as the rounds went on that Gassiev was getting a little bit more adventurous. He was mixing his shots up a bit more. You know, he was changing levels. You know, he'd land that left uppercut. He'd hook to the body. He'd look for more power shots. And I think in the 11th round, Dorticos got buzzed. He was really struggling in the 11th. And in the 12th round, he got dropped a couple of times. Gassiev really started to push it on Dorticos in the 12th. He dropped him twice, I think. Dorticos gets up from a second knockdown, all over the place. Gassiev hunting him down, pushing him against the ropes, and I believe the left hook puts him through the ropes, and the referee stops the fight, and rightly so. You know, he could have stopped it a little bit earlier, in fact. To me, Gassiev, although this wasn't an entertaining fight, but to me, Gassiev was always in control, and I felt he boxed an excellent fight. And I've got to say, it's not reactionary. because if you've seen my videos, I do rate Gassiev very highly, and I was rooting for him from the start of the tournament to win this thing. So I am a bit biased, I've got to say that. But I think he's going to beat Usyk. And I think he's going to knock Usyk out. What do you guys think? Am I overrating Gassiev? Am I getting caught up? I don't think so. I always felt that Gassiev going into this tournament was being extremely overlooked. The guy is a very good boxer. Great punch technique. Body puncher. Good defense. He picks his spots remarkably well. And the thing about Gassiev that really impresses me, and I've mentioned this before, the man is 24 years old with barely any amateur background to speak of, and he has some of the most remarkable calmness in the ring that I've seen, especially from somebody at that stage of his career. It's remarkable how calm, how composed he remains in the ring. It's like he's been fighting for 25 years. You know, you expect that from, you know, a Manny Pacquiao or a Floyd Mayweather, you know, guys like that. His calmness and composure is remarkable. I've said it before, I'll say it again. To me, that's his most impressive attribute. You know, great fighter. The winner of this Usyk versus Gassiev fight is top 3 pound for pound as far as I'm concerned. What do you guys think? Peace.